Hi there, it's Sally from Rickety Snippets here, and today I'm going to continue to work into my dragon junk journal. So in the last video I created a spine, chose some covers, and then sewed in the signatures or the pages. And then in this video I want to start to embellish it, so this is where the fun really begins. And I think some of these pages with the dragons on are already quite fancy, so I want to choose a couple of kind of more neutral pages. So I'm going to work into these two and create a double page spread of pockets and all sorts. So I've printed out some of the bits that I think I might want to use on these two pages, and so some of them are background papers. So you can use them as actual papers in the junk journal, but they've also they're quite nice to cut up for pockets and ephemera. So we'll be using those, and I'd really like to use these kind of little library cards in this spread. So I'm going to have a bit of a book theme. So we've got the library card from the Library University of Dragons and then we've got these little tabbed cards which have got things like dragon lore and lost legends and mythic beasts written on them, and then some with some numbers on the top as well. So I'm going to definitely be using some of those in this spread. And then we've got some fussy cuts, so fussy cut those. So for anyone not familiar with fussy cut, it basically means cutting them out, but they're kind of awkward little shapes, and so we refer to that in the game of junk journaling as fussy cutting. And then I've got some other bits and pieces as well. I should just say, for anyone that hasn't seen the last video, I am using the Dragon Junk Journal kit from the Rickety Snippet shop, and the link for that is below if you want to follow along using the same kit. So it's a digital printable, but I think you could apply what I'm doing today to anything really, so you could use anything you like. So I'm going to start by creating a pocket for this page, and I really like this paper. It's kind of mixed media paper, and I like this kind of checkered pattern here. So I'm going to create a long pocket that goes from bottom to the top of the page, and I'm actually just going to tear along that edge because I think this kind of paper kind of lends itself to a kind of organic look. Just letting it rip where it wants to, well, a little bit controlled for once. And then I'm going to ink this edge, and so when I ripped it, I deliberately ripped it this way, so I'm tearing the page off of this strip, which has given me a kind of nice jaggedy floofy edge I can ink, so it kind of makes the most of it. So if I'd done it the other way round, I would have got that kind of edge. So if you don't like that kind of real ripped look, this bit hasn't got that kind of white extra on it. There we go. I'll go right the way round. That, and then I'm just going to stick that, put some glue along the top and the bottom and the side. And stick that down. And then I do like this here. I think I might just rip around that as well, if I can, make it about like losing the pattern. of arky shape. Try and see if I can get that off as well. I like that sitting over there. It's a bit tall. I quite like that. I like to cut a bit off the bottom, and that could be a tuck, so we could have a pocket in there and a tuck there. So I'm going to ink that as well. And I think this dragon fussy cut could look quite good on there. That. Let's have a look and see what it looks like with the library card in it. Yeah, quite like those together. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. I think we need something else here though, maybe. Perhaps a bit of one of these. So on these papers, you've got a lot of kind of ink stamps and some numbers, a few words and things. Perhaps. I might try this bit here because it looks a bit like a kind of stamp you might get on in a library. So cut that out. I got it straight. Quite good cutting when there's a line there, but I'm always off if there isn't. Bit wonky. But that could look quite good. Okay, I'm actually going to cut off a little bit off that. I think it's a bit tall. Just gives it a bit of balance because we've already got a tall pocket, quite a tall library card, and then this kind of balance it out a little bit. Is that straight? Straighter. So yeah, so I'm going to stick those down. Or I'm going to ink these edges again actually. There we go, so they're all inked, and I'm just going to stick those down. So it's going to put, do I want to overlap? Yeah, I think I want it directly on the pocket. So I'm going to put some glue here along the bottom. And then because it is quite a big piece, I'm just going to put a little bit along this edge as well, so that I can still tuck stuff inside it, but it won't get damaged in the same way if I just stick it at the bottom. So along like that. And that card can kind of just sit here. And then I'm going to stick this down and put the fussy cut over the top. Yeah, I haven't gone right to the top because I quite like the wings hanging over the edge of that tuck a little bit. It gives us a little bit of a three-dimensional kind of a look. So there, that's quite nice. I think this could do something on it maybe. I'm going to put this this big journaling card or postcard in the pocket, maybe have him peeking, look, his eye peeking out around that little curve there. It's quite nice. And I think This library card could have a dragonfly on it. Too much. It's down a bit, so it's peeking out also. Maybe that one. There we go. So I'm loving these colours together, this little dragon and this fussy cut. I quite enjoy fussy cutting. I don't know what everyone else thinks. Let me know in the comments if you're a fussy cut fan or whether you really hate it. I know some people do really hate it. I find it quite relaxing, really. I think it's quite a nice thing to do. I know some people find it difficult as well. So if you would like a video on how I fussy cut, then just let me know in the comments and I will make one. So on this side, I'm going to make some pockets to put these cards in. And I think I'm going to make them horizontal pockets so that we can have them stacked that way. 3 of them would be nice, like that. And I'd like to make it a kind of portable stack of pockets. So we need something for a background. So I think I might use this as the background, and I want to use this piece for the pockets themselves. So I think I'll cut the pockets first, and I'm going to use my cutter, given that I'm not good at straight lines when it comes to cutting them without a line there. And I'm going to cut it just into strips initially and then decide which I want to use together. And anything I don't use I can just use as ephemera. So I'm using this piece as the kind of guide for my first cut, like that, and then I'll do the others hopefully the same. Right. And then I won't cut that one up just yet because I think we might have what we need, those ones. So get rid of that. And then I'm going to just cut some of them, well, first of all checking that they're going to be big enough. That could be quite a good width for them, this kind of teal colour. So they don't all have to be the same width. So I'll just cut them where it feels natural to cut them. That's a bit of more neutral in there. Let's have a look. So that one is a little bit wide, maybe. Quite nice. I do want them all to be the same width, even if they're not the same height. So stack them like that. Cut that bit off. I'll keep that as a piece of ephemera. Yeah, that's quite nice. And I think I'd also like a torn edge on them all again, so it kind of mirrors what's happening on the other page. Just going to take a tiny bit off the edge there of each of them. Okay, so I'm liking those, and then I'm going to grab this piece of paper for the background and work out how much space I want around them. It's on that one, I like the neutral side. Okay, and I am going to just mark this time where I want the cut. So about there, I think. There we go. So now I just want to line that up. So I don't know if I actually want it all the way down to the bottom. Perhaps let's have it up to here. And I'm going to fold a bit to go over and overlap onto the other side. But before I do that, I just really want to line these up again, make sure they look kind of well balanced before I make any decisions about where to fold or cut anything. Like that, just a little bit of space around each of them. So it looks like I'm folding it actually where this trim is on here. So I'm just going to fold it over and give it a bit of a smooth with the bone folder. So that's going to sit on the page like that with our pockets on here and then this overlap here. So I'll decide what to do with this in a minute. And I'm going to just ink the edges of this. So now I'm just going to stick them down, gluing along the tops of the bottoms and this straight edge. There we are. So I think I'm going to use some bits from here. Use one bit. I like this number 180 up here. Cut that out. Oh, 1,860. That's my dyscalculus for you. And perhaps this number 84 is quite good. Trim it a little bit. Yeah, maybe a bit much, maybe. See how that is. I do want to use this big fussy cut as well. Oh yeah, look, that would great going up there. If we sit it on our page over to that side, that can kind of hang over the edge maybe. And then it feels like maybe something on that pocket. We could use, I've got these little dragon stamps. Quite nice, it goes quite well with the fussy cut on that side. Oh, I like him. Yeah, perhaps we'll use it like that. Find it helps also if you put the things in the pockets you're kind of intending to go in there, if you've got something specific in mind. So I might put those in now and then we'll just have a look, see whether that's too many numbers maybe. Got a dragon lore in that pocket, archived, and a number in that one, and then what's that one, mythic beasts there. And then, oops, I'm just going to put it on the page, see how it all looks. It's all misbehaving now. think too many numbers. I cut a little bit out of this sheet. Oh, I buried everything. A little bit of an address there. I'll put that, see what that looks like. Up here with the dragon. That's quite nice. And then I'm going to ink all of those, ink the edges of this as well, and then stick that over the top. There we go, all stuck down. Love this fussy cut going up there. Got our little tags coming out the side. And I will just put a paper clip over the top of that, hold it in place. But first, I need to think about what's happening over here. So I think I'm going to cut that probably about there. Cut it off to there. And then actually round those edges on that. Just a little shallow roundness there. And stick those. So that'll hang over like that. And then we could put some words, I thought, on that. So I've got a dragon. Might be a bit dark actually for that page. Or a legend in the mist. What's the other one? I have another one somewhere. I don't know what's happened to that, but quite like legend in the mist anyway, because this dragon does have this swirly kind of mist, magical mist around her. And then I think I might use another round on there as well, maybe another dragonfly. This one as well, just a bit bigger. Yeah, that one, that looks nice. There we are. So we've got kind of like a title page there. Our legend in the mist and our dragon. Could put some more on there. You could do some journaling on this kind of space there if you wanted to. And then on this page we've got our double page spread. Move that along a bit. It's going over his face. More like that. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you'd like to watch me embellish some more pages in the journal, then don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will put a link on the screen somewhere to the next video in the series once I've made it. Okay, catch up with you again soon. Bye for now.